Hello everybody, this is Patrick with Clarity Media and I'm here with another of our puzzle solving videos. So this is for Noughts and Crosses puzzle. You can find the link to this puzzle and other free daily puzzles in the description. They're on our website. And I'm just going to jump right into it with a very quick explanation of the rules, since I have solved this puzzle before on our channel, and I'll provide a link to that solving video as well, which is in some bit more detail. But the rules in brief are you must place 4 noughts and 4 crosses in every row and column of your 8x8 grid, and you cannot have more than a consecutive 2 noughts or 2 crosses. So looking at these 2 noughts here, I know instantly I have to put crosses on either side of them, because otherwise it would break the puzzle. And as there's 4 of each type in each row and column, you can count them, and that also helps with your solve. The one other rule, which only rarely comes into play, but which is good to be aware of, is that you can't have an identical pattern in columns or rows. But that's, as I say, that rarely comes into play. So just jump right in by filling in all the givens. So I can see that has to be a cross, which makes these have to be noughts. That has to be a nought. The other thing is that when you see 2 of the same symbol and there's a blank square between them, that one has to be the other symbol, because otherwise it would go 3 in a row, which isn't allowed. So that is a nought as well. Here, that has to be a cross, which means this has to be a cross. And now I've got 2 spaces left, but I've already used all my crosses for this row, because these are both noughts, which means that's a cross and that's a cross. This, well, let me see, 2, I've only got 1 nought remaining. I think it could be either. Here we have 3 noughts and 2 crosses. So this is a nought because these 2 crosses, which means this therefore has to be a cross at the bottom. And that's a cross, I can see, which means that's a nought, which means that's a cross. And let me see, so there's 1 remaining in this column, which I think it's a cross, which means there's 2 noughts here, which means that's a cross. That's a cross. How many do we have? That's a cross. Now it's we filled in a good chunk of the grid. I think it was a little bit trickier from here. We have 3 noughts and 2, and we have all 4 crosses in this row, which means these have to both be noughts. Excellent. Which means those can be crosses, which means that has to be a nought. And then we have 1 nought remaining in this row, and we have 3 crosses. Now, they obviously can't go next to each other. You know that much. So that's the nought there. That's a cross because of these 2, which means that's a nought. And now we have 1 nought. No, we have all 4 noughts, so these are both crosses, which means that's a nought. And then here we have 3 crosses, 2 noughts. Now, this is a good rule you can use. When you have when you have 3 crosses and 2 noughts, so I have to put 1 cross in and I have to put 2 noughts in. I can't obviously put the cross on either side. Well, I can't put it. I can put it there. I can put it there. But I can't put it there because it creates a triple, which means I have to know that's a nought there, which means this has to be a cross. And can we figure it out? So there's only 2 remaining. 1 is a nought and 1 is a cross. Now I think we'll get to that in a moment. Here we have 3 noughts, so the same rule applies. Since there's only 1 cross to put in, I can't put it there, which means that is also a nought, which means that has to be the cross, which means that has to be the nought, I believe, and then that's a cross, and then that's a cross, so that's a nought. And then there's only 1 remaining. I'll just count them quickly. We have 4 crosses, so that's also a nought, I said. Comes down to this last corner. Got 2, 3. So we only have 1 cross to go here. We know the 1 cross can't go there because it creates triple, so that's also a nought, which means that's the cross, which means this is a nought. And then 1 remaining here. Got all the noughts, so that's a cross. 2 remaining. I think it's 1 of each. But there's only 1 in each of these rows, so it's just a matter of counting now. Got all 4 crosses, so I believe that's a nought. And then here we have all 4 noughts, so that's a cross. Now, I'm going to click the check button. Hopefully you won't see it, but there was a pop-up in a different screen which will say congratulations, or whatever the opposite of congratulations is, you failed, but hopefully it will say congratulations, and I'll just check now. Yeah, congratulations, that looks good. So this puzzle has been successfully solved a bit faster than I usually solve puzzles on this channel, so I'll shut up now and let the video end so it shows off the speed to all its quality. But yeah, okay, thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and check out our other solving videos every week, which will be coming out quite soon. Thank you.